Hi guys, hi beautiful people, you're welcome to my channel, and today's video is going to be the most anticipated video after the Miss Supranational pageant yesterday. Guys, I'm still recovering, and I've not fully recovered from the shock that I had yesterday. A lot of upsets and a lot of surprise exclusions on the pageant, but also I'm happy with the winner. Okay, so yeah, this is my post pageant analysis for Miss Supranational 2025. Don't touch that dial, keep on watching. Alright, so I'm going to start off with Nigeria's performance, Paula's performance in this year's competition. I would say that her exclusion was a surprise to me. Like, I've not fully recovered from it. Like, guys, make it make sense. I'm still in shock, you know, that Paula was excluded from the top 24. I wasn't seeing this coming, like seriously. There are so many other exclusions I'm going to be talking about, but Paula's own really shocked me because I know how, you know, she prepared for the pageant. I know what she put into the pageant. I know the effort that she made, you know, in this pageant. And, you know, to have to be excluded from the top 24 is to me, it's a, I don't know, it's I'm still trying to like fathom what happened. I'm still trying to get my head around what really happened. I know that the other girls prepared as well, but Paula's journey to me was more or less like a personal journey because we followed her through. I followed her throughout the journey, and I felt like, you know, it was my loss as well. Okay, I felt the loss, you know, and at this point I would say to Paula that irrespective of what happened yesterday, you're still the queen. We love you and we cherish you, and we appreciate you. We are proud of what you put into the pageant, how you presented Nigeria, you know, how you presented the country, how you you know, you made a lot of sacrifices, and you still are queen. Okay, so forget about the results, but I just have to rant, okay, because I'm very angry at this point. And yeah, that is it for Paula. I just want her to know that this is not the end of the road. You're just being redirected to another pageant. Okay, so yeah, that is my message to Paula. And also another shocking exclusion was Malaysia. Malaysia was excluded from the top 24, and I'm like, what is happening? Malaysia was amongst my favorites, okay, amongst my potential winners in this my predictions. Okay, she was in my predictions, and for her not to make top 24, it was kind of surprising. But of course, I'll just run through, you know, the whole pageant in general, and also, you know, what I think of the winner. Going forward, I think the show was unnecessarily long. Like, make it make sense. This show was 3 hours long, and I felt like the musical performances were too much. The Supranational has this they have this tradition of singing songs, you know, popular songs, by known artists. You know, they allow other artists to sing, you know, popular songs, and they are fond of doing this. I mentioned that in my post-pageant analysis for last year. I'll put a card in for you guys. I feel like they still repeated the same thing this year. There was a lot of musical performances this year, unlike what happened last year, and of course the stage was okay. I think the production of this year was much more better than last year's production. At least they allowed the girls to have their time on stage, each of the girls to have their time on stage. That was another very interesting part that I liked, you know, the introduction part, you know, and also the swimsuit wear was perfect. I loved the color red on the contestants, and I love the fact that, you know, when they were moving the wind, you know, when they were, you know, catwalking, or when they were on stage with the swimwear, I love the wind effect on them. It made it look so beautiful, made it look so unique, and made it look so you know, it made the swimsuit very delightful to watch. I love the fact that they did that, you know, wind effect. I love the swimsuit, red and beautiful. I love the cape and everything. Yeah, that's it for the show. I felt like, you know, the musical performances to me was just too much. I think aside from that, every other thing was okay. And also, you should try as much as possible to cut down on the time frame, you know, because 3 hours of 3.5 hours, you know, that was how far the pageant or how long the pageant went, how long it aired. Okay, so I think they should cut down on the, you know, viewing time. I think that would help, but I still felt like, you know, the production was a lot better than last year's production. Yeah, going forward to the top 24, I would say that They called in Mexico, India, Zambia, Guatemala, Indonesia, Germany, Puerto Rico, United Kingdom, South Africa, Nepal, Philippines, Ukraine, Czech Republic, Brazil, Curacao, Dominican Republic, Costa Rica, Colombia, Iceland, United States, Spain, Bolivia, Korea, and Poland. Those were the countries that made the top 24. I was really surprised with I was really surprised with Korea's placement, because I wasn't seeing. No, Korea's placement was a surprise to me. Like, I wasn't seeing that coming. Like, seriously, I think she took the spot of Nigeria, because like when they were calling countries and they were not calling Nigeria, I was like, what is happening? Like, seriously, all of a sudden they called Korea. I was like, Korea? Where did Korea come from? Korea was not even on anybody's list, because I cross-checked the other pageant bloggers list. Korea was not amongst the list of the predictions, from the other pageant bloggers. And I was like, where did Korea come from? Like, seriously, nobody expected Korea to place. So that was a really surprise placement. And of course, Poland as well. We being the host country, we understand how it is. The pressure and everything. But I feel like, if you don't want it, if you don't merit it, then why are you being in the top 24? Because of course they are taking over the spots of the persons or the countries that really merit it. So I think that going forward, the judges please try as much as possible to be less biased. Okay, we understand that it is a lot of pressure on the host country, but if she doesn't merit it, then why put her there in the top 24? That's my own opinion. Okay, I don't think Poland and Korea deserve to be in this top 24. That is my own personal opinion on this. Going forward, the top 12, Ukraine won the fan votes, which I was like surprised. Like, seriously, are there much fans from Ukraine voting? So yeah, that came as a surprise to even Miss Ukraine herself. She was even surprised that she won the fan vote. Czech Republic made it to top 12. Iceland, Costa Rica, Philippines, Bolivia, Curacao, United Kingdom, Germany, USA, Brazil, and Puerto Rico. Not much of a surprise, apart from Costa Rica. I wasn't seeing Costa Rica as a very strong candidate, but she proved us all wrong. She was not really on my list as well. Bolivia was not on my list as well. So them making the top 12, it shows that they were strong during the other rounds. Okay, so top 5 we had Puerto Rico, Philippines, Brazil, Curacao, and Germany. And at this point, I knew that the winner was going to be either Brazil or Philippines. Okay, that was what I was thinking at this point. Or, the 3 countries that came to my mind in this top 5 were Brazil, Philippines, and Curacao. They were the top 3 for me. But when it came to after the first round of the what they call it, the speech, that first time they asked them, why do you want to be Miss Supranational? I already have my standout. I thought that Curacao did very well, Philippines did very well, Puerto Rico did very well. So it was more or less like the top 5 was well deserved. Germany surprised some persons, but she wasn't a surprise to me, because I felt like she deserved it. But when it came to the final Q&A, that's when I knew that, wow, it was going to take another turn, a new turn. I would say that Brazil gave a heartfelt answer. I think that was the reason why she won. The other, Brazil and Germany gave heartfelt answers. The rest, Curacao, Philippines, and Puerto Rico, they gave more or less like rehearsed answers. Like, seriously, the answers were rehearsed. So at the end of the top 5 question and answer, I knew that it was going to be Brazil and Germany standing. If I thought they were going to not go by the Q&A, then Philippines would have stood with Brazil. But after the Q&A, I kind of like tilted towards Brazil and Germany. Okay, and they were the last 2 standing. Okay, so before they called in the winner, they had to call in the Continental Queens. So in the African region, Zambia was crowned as the Continental Queen. In the Caribbean, it was Dominican Republic for the Caribbean. Europe was Iceland. Asia, Indonesia won the Continental Queen title. And in the American region, it was USA. Okay, so yeah, I wasn't surprised at all with this Continental Queens. I felt like It was well deserved. Then now to the final crowning moment. Okay, yeah. So Puerto Rico was fourth runner up, Philippines was third runner up, and I was like kind of shocked. I thought Philippines were going to place higher, but when they called her third runner up, I was not really surprised because she had a rehearsed answer. All right, so Curacao was taken runner up because, of course, I felt like Curacao overdid it when she was speaking in the Q&A. When she was answering a question in the Q&A, she was just talking so fast, and she was over talking, like, seriously. And I felt like that was what really made her placement. And yeah, Germany, of course, was first runner up, and Brazil won the competition. So far, I felt like Miss Brazil's win was well deserved. I think that she was a standout for the night. She just had this glow, throughout the night, throughout that ceremony. I know a lot of persons too were rooting for Brazil, so her win was not a surprise to me at all. I would say congratulations to Brazil. This is the first title for Brazil, and of course she has made history for the Brazilians. Okay, congratulations to her, and I can't wait to see how her reign is going to look like. I know she has a lot of fans, and I think that a lot of persons like her, so she's going to have a very smooth reign. And of course, I was not really surprised with Brazil winning, but the major upset for me for the night was Nigeria not placing, and Malaysia, of course, and also some other shocking inclusions in the top 24. Okay, that is just it for this particular pageant. I would say that going forward, let's see how it goes. So guys, that is my post-pageant analysis for Miss Supranational pageant this year. So hopefully I'll talk about Mr. Supranational, which is today. Okay, yeah, the Mr. Supranational pageant is today, and I'm wishing our Nigeria's representative all the best of luck. All right, so till next year, from another Miss Supranational pageant, I would say that congratulations to Brazil once more, and to all the other ladies. You guys were phenomenal. So take your crowns. Okay. Yeah. So over here, I would say that all in all, it was a fair judgment, but the judges were sort of biased. Yes, the judges were sort of biased. That is what I would say. In some of the inclusions in the top 24, I would say the judges were kind of biased. All right, but I'm very happy with the winner overall. All right, so guys, we've come to the end of this video. If you like this content, please like, share, and subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you all in my next video coming up very soon. Bye.